Hey, what's up? It's Christine with Irene Fitness, and today we're making one of our favorite meals of all time, chicken fajitas. They're easy, they're quick, and you never get sick of them. Let's get cooking! What makes a great fajitas? Onions, peppers, and your meat source. So we're gonna do onions, peppers, and chicken today. First step is you wanna get your onions sliced up and in the pan because those take longer to cook than the peppers do. So we'll get those rocking right away. And then we'll start cooking our peppers. And while we're cooking those, we're gonna prep our chicken with get it sliced up and get our homemade seasoning blend on it. A little salt and pepper. Next, we're going to slice up our peppers, and we always try to buy a bag of these sweet mini peppers when we're shopping because they're so good for snacking. So I usually just end up cooking with them to give them a multi-purpose, and that's what we're going to do now. If you have the sweet small ones, you can use these, or if you're just going to go buy your traditional green bell peppers or any other color, red, yellow, orange, get those, slice them up, and add those to the pan once these onions get a little bit more cooked through. Our peppers are sliced, we're gonna throw those into the pan. Add a touch more salt and pepper. And give it a mix. Now, as these continue to cook and soften down a bit more, we're going to get that chicken ready. And I love to use these disposable cutting boards when I'm going to be handling raw poultry. So we all know that chicken has cross-contamination, and especially in moments where I don't have hot water in my sink or I don't have my sink flipped up, it's very, very beneficial for me to have these so I can just pick it up and throw it away. Now they come in a roll like this, and it actually comes 2 rolls per pack. They're called Easy Boards, and they're about 12 bucks on Amazon. I'll link it below. We have them on our Amazon Essentials page. So I think these are great. One of these lasts me 5 months. So an entire pack, that's a 2-pack, almost lasts a year. So it's well worth the $12. I also use these food prep gloves when I'm cutting up chicken for the same reason as why I use these cutting boards. So we get these big packs of chicken from Costco. Usually these packs have anywhere from 1 pound to 2 pound per package. So while I'm in here, I'm going to cut up the entire package into the strips that we need, And whatever's over the 1 pound that I want to use for this recipe, I'm just going to save and put in the fridge for later. And this is a great food prep tip for when you're handling raw meat, especially when you're wasting things like gloves and cutting boards. Do everything at once, and then the next time when I go to cook the leftover chicken, it can go straight from my bag into the pan, and I don't need to do any of this prep work. So cut it once and you'll save yourself some time later. Our chicken is cut up. We're gonna add our seasoning now. I never buy the pre-packaged fajita mixes. I always just use the spices I have in my cabinet. That's what they're there for, and you can custom them to however you want your mix to be that night. I can tell you my #1 spice that I always use is smoked paprika. Make sure you get the smoked. It just adds a smokiness that you can't get from the regular paprika. I do salt and pepper and oregano, cumin, and chipotle powder. If you don't have chipotle powder and you want a little bit of spice, just use cayenne. And I'm also going to add in a squeeze of fresh lime juice to mix it all up and get those chickens coated with the seasoning spices. As Aaron says, nothing spices up some fajitas like some fresh citrus. And he's right, it's good every time. I like to serve limes with my fajitas as a garnish as well. So as I'm cutting into a whole entire lime, we have half of it left for some wedges for Aaron and I for when we're serving. We're just gonna give this a mix. If you have time to do this early and let it marinate for 30 minutes up to an hour, that would be great. I rarely ever do that though, just because I'm always cooking and in a hurry to eat. So even just mixing it on just like this and then cooking it is just fine. So marinating is not necessary, but it is a bonus. The peppers are done. I'm going to take the peppers out of the pan and transfer them into this little guy. I'm going to keep them warm on the side. And I'm going to use this same pan here to cook the chicken. And I want this pan to be completely empty for all of this chicken so that we have enough surface area to get a good sear on that chicken. We like our chicken brown. You eat with your eyes first. Nobody wants pale, white looking chicken in their fajitas. So now our pan is nice and open for our chicken. Instead of just throwing the chicken right into your fajita mix, which oftentimes people do, why not just take it out, clear some real estate for your chicken, and get a good sear going. Just spread it around, get it flat into a single layer. Once you get it spread out, then you just let it sit. You're gonna let this first side get nice and seared. So just do that. And while we're waiting for that to cook, let's talk about how we're gonna serve these for a minute. So the fajitas are very healthy on their own. They're healthy, lean protein in the chicken. with your vegetable fajita mix, your onions and your peppers. And then when you serve it, there's so many different ways you can serve these. And that's why these are great for a household, because you can do it the way that you want it. So you can do it in corn tortilla shells, or you can do it in a rice bowl. You can do it in a quinoa bowl. You could do it on a salad. You can have it with beans. That's a lot of different options. And my recommendation for your carb source is pick one and stick with it, or pick 2 half-size portions and stick with that. So if you're going to do corn tortillas, don't mix it with rice and beans and then you're having a triple serving of carbs with it. Just do like 2 shells with a little bit of rice so that you're still having a single serving of carbohydrates and you're not carb loading it. And the same goes with your toppings. So with your fats, pick cheese or pick avocados or pick guac or sour cream, but don't stack all 4 together. So pick what your favorite is or what you feel like that day and just go with the one. And then it's going to stay healthy and you're not going to be gorging with all of these toppings and taking something that's meant to be really healthy and just kind of kicking it into the dirt with all of your toppings. If you do decide to go with the corn tortillas, good choice. We love these. We buy these big packs at Sam's Club. There's 80 shells in here. And it's like $2.80 or something like that, and it usually lasts us 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a killer deal, great value. And we have this propane stovetop here that we literally just throw them on to get the shells nice and toasty, just like at a Mexican restaurant. And I store them in some tin foil so that they stay warm for serving. And I'll show you how quick and easy it is. So I usually just watch for, you'll start to see air bubbles come up in the tortilla. You'll see a little bit of smoke and you'll start to smell it too. So see, you can see the smoke coming up already. And then you just flip it. That side I didn't quite let go as long as I normally would, but we'll get it toasted on the other side and it'll be just fine. It's like watching paint dry sometimes, but these go really quick. So you get those nice marks on them. And it's super fast. So I count out however many shells Erin's gonna have, and if I'm having shells too, I'll count those out. You lay them out, you just burn through them. You're standing here anyway, and it just makes it so much better. So these little touches that we're doing with the shells, this is what takes your cooking to the next level. This takes it to something that is better than what you would get at a good restaurant. And the difference is also, not only are you saving money, you're saving calories. You know exactly what's going into this. It's not swimming in oil. It's quality meat, quality produce that you know it's good. And you just can't beat those. Once you get comfortable cooking and you start to do all these little tricks, you're not going to want to go out to eat as much anymore. Our chicken is now cooked through, so we're going to take these fajita veg and we're going to mix that back in with the chicken to get all the flavors mixed together and that we have one pot for serving. Some other healthy topping ideas, ones that you don't need to so much limit your intake of, is things like tomatoes, onions, additional raw onions. You could do salsa, you could do some Cholula, you could do sriracha, sliced jalapenos. There's plenty of stuff to add on where you're not feeling restricted on your portion sizes. So do those lime wedges and fresh cilantro and items like that to really make it pretty with your eyes. So there you have it. It's that easy. In less than 30 minutes, and all you need is the onions, peppers, chicken, and some seasoning. So join us next week for more healthy recipes. If you like what you see, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and check out my blog, Irene Iron Fitness, for the full printable recipe. See you next time.